Hey, fourth grade. We are on day 2 of the circulatory system. All right, so your objective for this lesson is to describe the parts and basic functions of the circulatory system. There are 4 parts to the circulatory system: veins, capillaries, heart, and arteries. Your heart is what pushes blood through the circulatory system. Let's take a second and go back and review from yesterday. Okay? Our definitions, we learned some new words. Heart, we learned that a heart is a muscle near the center of your chest, the size of your fist. It works all day to pump blood through the body, part of the circulatory system, and it's protected by your ribs. It pushes the blood through the blood vessels. Your ribs are your rib cage. Your rib cage protects your lungs, and here's a good visual of it. You can see the rib cage is the off-white gray looking. Blue on the left side, the blue is the lung, and on the right side, the green is the lung. Arteries takes blood away from the heart. Blood vessels that carries blood away from the heart. Veins, a blood vessel that carries blood to the heart. So here you can see carrying it to the heart, the blue vein. Chambers, there are 4 chambers. Consists of the right atrium, the right ventricle, the left atrium, and the left ventricle. Each atrium receives blood from the body, and each ventricle pumps blood to the body. Here's an image. So there's the right atrium, the right ventricle, the left atrium, and the left ventricle. Our next vocabulary word is circulatory system. The circulatory system is what is used to transport oxygen, nutrients, water, and waste. All right, so what makes up our circulatory system? Blood cells, our heart, brain vessels, heart vessels, lung vessels, liver vessels, blood. All of this stuff is what goes together, and it works together to make the circulatory system. All right, contracts. That was one of our words that we learned when it was talking about the heart. How does your heart do this? It contracts or squeezes to push blood through the chambers and out of your body. It works constantly to keep blood moving. It takes less than 1 minute for blood to move all the way through your body and return to your heart. Isn't that amazing? That amazes me. That just amazes me. That heart of yours is a hard worker. All right, and then a capillary. It's a new one that I added for today. A tiny blood vessel that connects arteries and veins. And here you can see, here the arteries in the red and the veins in the blue, and the capillaries in the middle, connects the two. There's that realistic human heart. Makes you want to go grab a good steak, doesn't it? Haha, just kidding, of course. All right, so again, veins, the 4 main parts of the circulatory system: veins, capillary, heart, and arteries. Okay, now there's 3 pages that I want to read you from an old textbook, and I just took pictures of them, so I'm going to go through and I'm going to read it to you, but I'll also have it linked below for you guys, so for when you have to refer back to it. The circulatory system. Blood not only brings oxygen to the cells and takes away carbon dioxide, it also transports nutrients and water to the cells. The job of the circulatory system is to transport oxygen, nutrients, water, and waste. The respiratory and circulatory systems work closely together, and we'll learn more about the respiratory system next week. Blood flows through your vessels. You can think of the blood vessels as the highways of your body. The heart is a muscular pump that pushes the blood through the highways. For the path of the blood after it picks up oxygen from the lungs. Follow the path of blood after it picks up oxygen from the lungs. This oxygen-rich blood flows to the heart and is pumped to all parts of the body through the arteries. An artery is a blood vessel that carries blood away from the heart to capillaries. A capillary is a tiny blood vessel that connects arteries and veins. The capillaries pass oxygen to the cells, and a vein carries blood back to the heart. The blood in veins has little oxygen. It enters the heart and goes to the lungs to pick up more oxygen. And here you can see your heart kind of sits in the middle of your chest. The heart is about the size of your fist. And here are all the veins and the arteries to her heart, the veins and the arteries going all throughout the body. Isn't that amazing? The solid parts of blood are suspended in a liquid. This liquid, called plasma, carries nutrients and waters to the cells and carries away waste. The solid part of the blood includes the red blood cells. white blood cells, and platelets. Red blood cells are disc-shaped. They pick up and carry oxygen from the lungs. White blood cells are larger than red blood cells. White blood cells help the body fight disease. Platelets are small pieces of the cells. They help to heal cuts and other injuries by forming blood clots or thickened solid masses. Blood would not flow to all parts of your body if you did not have a heart. The heart is a muscular pump. Your heart muscle needs to be strong because it works all the time, even while you're sleeping. The inside of the heart is divided into 4 spaces called chambers. The 2 upper chambers are the right atrium and the left atrium. Each atrium receives blood from veins. The 2 lower chambers are the ventricles. Ventricles are the pumping chambers of the heart. When they contract, blood is forced out of the heart into the arteries. You can feel this contraction as a throbbing pulse if you press your fingers against an artery in your wrist or your neck. All right, so here we can see the right atrium, the right ventricle. The valve is between the atrium and the ventricle on each side, and it helps keep blood from moving back into the atrium. Here we have the left atrium, and this means it's going to the lungs. Oxygen-rich blood from the lungs enter the left atrium. Left ventricle, the oxygen-rich blood is pumped to the body from the left ventricle. So this is coming from the body. The blue is coming from the body, and it's going all the way down and coming. The red means that it's coming to the body. So from the body to the body. All right, sum it up. Visual summary. Oxygen, when you breathe, oxygen enters the lung. Blood picks up oxygen from the lungs and carries it to the heart. The heart pumps blood to arteries, which carry it to all parts of the body. The capillaries pass oxygen to the cells. Veins carry oxygen, pour blood back to the heart. Blood is sent to the lungs where it picks up oxygen and releases carbon dioxide.